All right, how's everyone doing? Tonight we are continuing with our playthrough of Fate Stay Night Remastered. So last where we left off, Shirou got wrecked by Berserker. So, don't worry, he will get better. Have not reached a bad end yet. Really trying hard to avoid getting a bad ending. So now Shirou's going to have to figure out how to live with Saber around. February 2nd. February 3rd. Fate 4. Partner. Winter, 5 years ago. It was a beautiful moonlit night. I was just enjoying the sight with my father, Kiritsugu Emiya. It was winter, but it wasn't very cold. On the veranda, it was just a little chilly, the perfect weather to watch the moon. Kiritsugu didn't go outside much anymore. He rarely went out, and he spent most of his time lounging around the house. Every time I recall this, I still feel regret. Why didn't I realize that he was acting the way any creature does when they know their time is almost up?
子供の頃、僕は正義の味方に憧れてた。
He blurted it out, just out of nowhere. My father, who already seemed like a champion of justice in my eyes, said that as if he was reflecting on a memory. What, you wanted to? So you gave up on it? I asked, unable to completely hide my disappointment. Kiritsugu smiled apologetically and looked up at the distant moon.
残念ながらね。ヒーローは期間限定で大人になると名乗るのが難しくなるんだ。そんなこともっと早くに気がつけばよかった。
That made sense to me. I wasn't sure why, but if Kiritsugu said it, then it had to be true. Oh, well, that's too bad.
そうだね。本当にしようがない。
Kiritsugu nodded in agreement, so I just kind of blurted something out as if it were a natural thing to say. Okay, if you can't do it, then I'll do it for you. You can't do anything because you're an adult, but I can. You can leave your dreams to me. Because I'll make it a reality. The bold promise made my father smile. His face said everything I needed to know. Kiritsugu made a long, contented sigh and whispered,
安心した。
There, he closed his eyes, and so too his life came to a close. He looked so peaceful, like he was just going to wake up in the morning, so I didn't think much about it. Maybe it was because by then I was used to seeing death. On a winter night, the man I called my father looked up at the moon and entered a long sleep. The yard was dead silent, not so much as a single chirp from an insect. I still remember how fiercely my eyes blazed on that bright, clear night. I didn't cry aloud, nor did I feel sad. But tears flowed down my cheek until the moon sank past the horizon. This happened in the winter 5 years ago. I probably cried 10 times worth of tears in that time, so after that, there was nothing left. Fujine's dad took care of the funeral arrangements, and that's how I ended up living in the Emiya mansion all alone. Kiritsugu's passing didn't change anything for me. I was set on becoming a man who champions justice and does what's right, just like my father, so I didn't have time to sit around. That's right. I never talked about this, but I still remember it. 10 years ago, a man saved me from a fire. He picked up a burned, dying child and carried him out of that nightmare, weeping with joy. I've admired him ever since. Nobody saved me. I couldn't save anyone. In the ruins of the fire, there was only a boy who was saved, and the man who saved him. That's why I aspired to be like him. I wanted to become a hero of justice that saved people and doesn't let anyone die. That's who he wanted to be, and he passed his wish on to me before quietly letting the curtain fall. It's only natural for a child to follow in their father's footsteps. Shirou Emiya must become a hero of justice and save someone the same way that he was once saved. I swore to myself I would do it. I vowed to fulfill the dream of the man I most admired. But honestly, I didn't know how. What did Kiritsugu mean by doing the right thing and championing justice? How can I grow up faster? Is there some magical way to make Kiritsugu's dream of making everyone happy come true? Seriously, what am I supposed to do when I become a master and I can't get the blonde girl with me out of my head? I wake up in my room. Something tastes terrible. The steely tang of blood clouds my mouth. It pulled in my mouth while I slept, and every time I breathed, heavy metallic air filled my lungs. I'm not sure why I feel this way. A violent urge to vomit makes me want to go wash my face in the restroom. Okay. I lift myself out of bed. Dizziness sets my head spinning. Feeling uneasy on my feet, I plant a hand on the wall. Ugh. I try to move, but it only makes the nausea worse. No, it's more pain than nausea. My body feels sluggish, and my insides seem to churn whenever I move. I imagine this is about what I'd feel like if someone forced hot lead down my throat. Ugh. Imagining that is making me feel like I'm going to run a fever. I wipe the sweat from my forehead and hobble out of my room, leaning against the wall. Okay, I feel a little better. I wash my face and dry off my sweat-drenched body. Huh? For some reason, my abdomen is wrapped in bandages. I have no idea why, but I'll deal with it later. I'm hungry. Did I leave any extra food in the fridge? My stomach still feels like churning, but my body needs nourishment. I suck up the discomfort and keep walking, braced against the wall. The dizziness won't go away, and worst of all, my whole body feels dull. Ow, ow, ow. I keep moving forward, making pathetic noises along the way. What did I do before I went to bed last night? I don't remember training strenuously enough to make my entire body ache. I reach the living room. Sakura and Fujine must be at school. There's no signs of breakfast, nor do I see any remnants of Fujine wrecking the place. The living room's quiet, like a typical Sunday.
Ohayo. 勝手に上がらせてもらってるわ、エミヤくん。
Or not. What? Huh? Rin Tosaka is sitting on the floor in the table in the... Rin Tosaka is sitting on the floor by the table in the living room. She's so calm, like she owns the place. So much so that I feel like the guest here. I have no idea what to say, so I plop down on a cushion. And then I take a deep breath. Tosaka, why are you...
待った。その前に謝ってくれない？昨夜の一件についての謝罪を聞かないと落ち着けないわ。
I can't even finish asking why she's in my house. Tosaka's glare is all I need to know how angry she is. She seems upset about something that happened last night, but what exactly? Wait. I remember now. Right, this isn't the first time for me to be This isn't the time for me to be leisurely breathing in the morning air. I tried to help Saber and Berserker gutted me like a fish. Ugh. The nausea returns. A chill grips my entire body as I remember the feeling of having a gaping hole in my body. Wait, that's weird. I should have died instantly. That's weird. Why am I still here?
思い出した？昨夜自分がどんなバカをしでかしたかって。なら少しは反省しなさい。
Tosaka huffs critically. That kind of ticks me off. My brain, frozen since seeing Tosaka in my living room, finally grinds into action. What are you talking about? I had no choice. Well, sure, it might seem like an idiotic move if you just look at the results, and I definitely meant for it to go better than it did. So I wouldn't say it was a mistake. I return her glare, insisting that I'm not an idiot. What? Why is she making such a show of sighing at me?
マスターが死んだらサーバントは消えるって言ったでしょ。だって言うのにサーバントをかばうなんてどうかしてるわ。いい？あなたが死んでしまえばセイバーだって消えてしまう。セイバーを救いたかったのならもっと安全な場所からできる手段を考えなさい。まったく身を挺してサーバントを守るなんて行為は無駄以外の何者でもないって分かってるの？
I wasn't shielding her. I was just trying to get her out of there. I didn't think that would happen to me. I knew I might die if I got near a monster like that, but that's beside the point.
そう勘違いしてるみたいね、あなた。
Tosaka only looks more irritated, like she knows exactly what I'm thinking.
あのね、ミヤ君、きっちりと言っておくけど、教会まで連れて行ったのはあなたに勝たせるためじゃないわ。あれはね、何も知らないあなたが一人でも生き残れるようにって考えた結果なの。どうもそのあたりは分かってなかったみたいね。
A chance to survive?
そうよ。負けることがそのまま死につながるって知れば、そう簡単に博打は打たなくなる。エミヤ君、こういう状況でも一人で夜出歩きそうだから。脅しをかけておけば家中の栗を拾うこともなし、うまくいけば最後までやり過ごせるかもって思ったの。
I see. That didn't cross my mind. But why are you upset? What does me dying have to do with you?
関係あるわよ。この私を一晩も心配させたんだから。
Tosaka is practically throwing a tantrum. But okay. It actually feels good to have someone worrying about me. From her tone, it sounds like Tosaka was the one who took care of me. Is that so? Guess I owe you one, Tosaka. Thanks. I bow my head in appreciation and apology.
わかればいいのよ。これに懲りたら次はもっと頭のいい行動してよね。
She doesn't mean literally. Tosaka quickly turns away. She might still be edgy, but I feel like she's in a better mood.
じゃあこれで昨日のことはおしまいね。本題に入るけど、真面目な話と昨日の話、どっちにする？
Tosaka prompts me matter-of-factly. Her straightforwardness takes me off guard, but now that I think about it, she must be here only because she has something to discuss. If she hadn't had something to discuss, she'd have gone home already. Tosaka's my enemy, so what could she have to talk about that would prompt her to stay in enemy territory? I'm curious to know what she's thinking, and I also want to know what else happened last night. I have to ask anyway, so... Let's see. Save here. Make sure voices is prioritized. I'm assuming that means voice is prioritized. Okay, let's talk about yesterday. There's no point in talking until I understand my own situation. I'll need to understand where I am before I try to get where I'm going. That's the basics for a journey. Let's start with what happened last night.
そうね。まずは状況を知るのが先。なんだ、まともに頭が働くじゃない、あなた。
With a smug grin, Tosaka launches into a brief explanation of last night's events. Apparently, Berserker left right after I lost consciousness. Afterwards, my body started to heal on its own. It was back to normal after a few minutes. I was still unconscious, so Tosaka brought me here, and the rest was as I remember it.
ここで重要なのは、あなたはあなた一人で生き切ったっていう事実よ。確かに私は手助けしたけど、あの傷を完治させたのはあなた自身の力だった。そこ勘違いしないでよね。
That's what it sounds like from the way you told it. So aren't you the one who healed me?
まさか死にかけてる人間を蘇生させるなんて芸当はもう私にはできない。エミやシローは自分でぶっ飛んだ中身をどうにかしたのよ。
So, on a side note, what did happen with my intestines that were scattered on the pavement? Did you just leave them there? I don't really have an answer to that. My stomach is back to normal, yes, but I'm honestly still dubious about what Tosaka said. I can't even use any healing mage crap, much less raise the dead.
そうなると原因はサーバントね。あなたのサーバントはよっぽど強力なのか、それとも召喚の時に何か手違いが生じたのか。まあ両方だと思うけど、何らかのラインがつながったんでしょうね。
Line? You mean like some sort of fated line that connects a familiar and its mage?
あら、ちゃんと使い魔の知識はあるじゃない。なら話は早いわ。要するにエミヤ君とセイバーの関係は普通の主人と使い魔の関係じゃないってこと。見たところセイバーには自然治癒の力もあるみたいだから、それがあなたに流れてるんじゃないかな。普通は魔術師の能力が使い魔に付与されるんだけど、あなたの場合は使い魔の特殊能力が主人を助けてるってわけ。
So it's like a river flowing upstream?
うまい例えね。本来ならありえないだろうけど、セイバーの魔力ってのは川の流れを変えるほど膨大なんでしょ。そうでなければあの体格でバーサーカーとまともに打ち合うなんて考えられない。
It wouldn't normally be possible. Does that mean your relationship with Archer is a normal mage and familiar relationship?
そうよ。人の言うこと全然聞かないやつだけど、一応そういう関係。マスターとサーバントのつながりなんてガソリンとエンジンみたいなものだもの。こっちが魔力を提供して、あっちがそれを食べるだけ。まあ中には肉体面でもサーバントと共有して疑似的な不死を得たマスターもいたそうよ。サーバントが死なない限り自分も死なないなんていうやつなんだけど。エミヤ君、人の話聞いてる？
Oh, run that back! A master once acquired pseudo immortality by physically fusing with their servant? I thought Fate Apocrypha hadn't happened in this timeline. Yeah, I am. Then, Tosaka, does that mean my body will heal from injuries even if I don't do anything about them?
あなたのサーバントの魔力を消費してね。理屈はわからないけど、原因がセイバーの実体化にあることは間違いないわ。あなたが自然治癒の呪いなんて習得しているはずはないから。
Of course not. My old man never taught me something that complicated.
そうじゃなくて、そうだったら私が悩む必要はなかったっていうことよ。いいわ、あなたには関係のない話だから。
Huh? What does she mean? I wonder why Tosaka's being so roundabout.
まあいいわ。とにかくあまり無茶はしないこと。今回は助かったからいいけど、次にあんな傷を負ったらまず助からないはずだから。多少の傷なら治るなんていう甘い考えは捨てた方がいいでしょうね。
I know. Saber had to help me because I went and got myself hurt. I don't have any excuses for that.
バカね。そんな理由じゃないわよ。断言してもいいけど、あなたの傷を治すと減るのはセイバーの魔力だけじゃない。あなた、それ絶対なんか使ってるわ。寿命とか性分とか預金残高とか、ともかく何かが減りまくってるに違いないんだから。
Tosaka helps once again. And I agree, but Tosaka, I don't think my bank account has anything to do with it.
関係あるわよ。魔術ってのは金食い虫なんだから。使ってればどんどんお金は減っていくものなの。
Why do I feel like this is a case of projection? And not the kind of projection that comes later.
そうでなければ許さないんだから。特に私が。
Tosaka absolutely explodes with fury. It's odd, really. The more I talk to her, the more this Tosaka feels like the real one, while the girl at school feels like an act. Though I guess I already noticed that yesterday.
まあ、お金の話は置いとくとして。次は真面目な話だけど、いいかしら、エミヤ君。
It's the main reason you're here, isn't it? Let's hear it.
じゃあ率直に聞くけど、エミヤ君、あなたこれからどうするつもり？
Tosaka asked the one question I hoped she wouldn't. Actually, that's not entirely true. It's not that I don't want her to ask so much as I haven't really thought of my answer yet. What am I going to do now? It's the question I want to ask. To be honest, I don't know. I know there's a competition for the Holy Grail, but I've never been in a battle between mages. For one thing, more than anything, I want to avoid any killing. I'm not interested in something like the Holy Grail. I don't really know if I can risk my life for something I don't want.
言うと思った。あなたね、そんなこと言ったらサーバントに殺されるわよ。
What? Kill me? Why?
サーバントの目的も聖杯だから。彼らは聖杯を手に入れるという条件だからこそマスターの召喚に応じているのよ。サーバントにとって最も重要なのは聖杯なの。彼らは聖杯を手に入れる可能性があるからマスターに従い、時にマスターのために命を落とす。だっていうのに聖杯なんていらないよなんて言ってみなさい。裏切り者と切り殺されても文句は言えないでしょ。
What the? That doesn't sound right. Servants are the one who are summoned by masters, right? Then...
サーバントが無償で人間に従うなんて思ってたの？聖杯は手に入れた者の望みを叶える。それはマスターの守護者であるサーバントも例外じゃない。サーバントたちにもね、それぞれ何らかの欲望があるのよ。だからこそ彼らは本来ありえない召喚に応じている。聖杯を手に入れるためにマスターがサーバントを呼び出すじゃない。聖杯が手に入るからサーバントはマスターの呼び出しに応じるのよ。
The servants have wishes too? Does that mean Saber also has a wish she wants granted by the Holy Grail?
だからサーバントはマスターが命令しなくとも他のマスターを消しにかかる。聖杯を手に入れるのは一人だけ。自分のマスター以外に聖杯が渡るのは彼らだって承知できないのよ。マスターと違ってサーバントには霊樹を奪うなんてことはできない。彼らが他のマスターを無力化するには殺す以外に方法がない。だからね、たとえマスター本人に戦う意志がないとしても戦いは避けられないのよ。サーバントに襲われたマスターは自分のサーバントでこれを撃退する。それが聖杯戦争なんだって綺麗から嫌っていうほど聞かされたでしょ。
Yeah, he told me enough of that last night. But that means that servants must fight and kill each other. I thought it would have been easy enough as long as the masters made peace with each other and gave up the Holy Grail. But if servants answer the summons because they also seek the Holy Grail and will never give up until they have it, the battles between servants really are inevitable. But then, is the girl who fought so hard to protect me also here to fight, kill for, and maybe die, all for the Holy Grail? That's awful. I don't know exactly what a heroic spirit is, but Saber's human. I even saw her bleed yesterday.
あ、その点は安心して。サーバントに生死はないから。サーバントは絶命しても本来の場所に帰るだけだもの。英霊っていうのはもう死んでも死なない現象だからね。戦いに敗れて殺されるのは当事者であるマスターだけよ。
No, I mean, even if their deaths are figurative, it doesn't change the fact that something which takes the form of a human dies in this world.
何、人殺しだっていうの？魔術師のくせにまだそんな正義感振り回してるわけ？あなた。
Tosaka's right. As a mage, death is never far. I understand that fact and have long since resigned myself to it. But I'm not strong enough to be the judge of when and where other people should live or die. Of course I do. I won't be party to some war where people murder each other.
へえ、それじゃあミスミス殺されるのを待つだけなんだ。で、勝ちを他のマスターに譲るのね。
That's not my point. All I have to do is stay alive until the end, right? I don't intend to kill anyone, but I'm also not going to hold back if I need to defend myself. Someone who shows up ready to kill others can't complain about getting killed.
受けに回るんだ。それじゃあ他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するのね。例えば昨日のあいつが暴れ回って町の人間を皆殺しにしても無視するってわけ？
The thing from yesterday? That twisted, inhuman demon. It's strong enough to level a house with a single blow. If it sets its mind to it, I'm sure it could destroy all of Miyama overnight. To make matters worse, servants can turn into spirit form. Humans who lack the ability to sense the supernatural can't even see them. But as soon as servants materialize, they can interact with the physical world. You could say they're the ultimate weapons. No modern technology or weaponry can affect a spiritual form. Our attacks don't work on them, but they can hurt us. It's a depressingly one-sided arrangement. From a normal person's point of view, servants may as well be natural disasters. When people die to an invisible killer, those deaths will just be treated as accidents or natural causes. Or, gas leaks or random murders. What do you mean? Don't masters and servants only attack other masters? What do the people in town have to do with it?
ええ、そうだったらどんなに平和なことか。けど、それなら見届け役の綺麗なんていらないでしょ。一つ言い忘れていたけど、サーバントっていうのは霊なの。彼らはもう完成したものだから今以上の成長はない。けど燃料である魔力は別よ。蓄えた魔力が多ければ多いほどサーバントは生前の特殊能力を自由に行使できるわ。 そのあたりは私たち魔術師と一緒なんだけど、あなたこの意味わかる？
Yeah, it's like repeatedly using magecraft. Magical energy is like gunpowder. The mage itself, and the mage is the gun itself. Like how there are different guns, pistols, rifles, shotguns, mages all have a variety of abilities. To continue the metaphor, servants are more like artillery cannons than firearms. They burn a huge amount of gunpowder to launch massive shells.
そうよ。けどサーバントたちは私たちみたいに自然からマナを提供されてるわけじゃない。基本的に彼らは自分の中だけの魔力で活動する。それを補充するのが私たちマスターで、サーバントは自分の魔力プラス主であるマスターの魔力分しか生前の力を発揮できないの。けどそれだとあなたみたいに半人前のマスターじゃ優れたマスターにはかなわないってことになるでしょ。その抜け道っていうか、当たり前って言えば当たり前の方法なんだけれど、サーバントは他から魔力を補充できる。サーバントは霊体だから同じものを食べてしまえば栄養は取れるってこと。
Eating something similar? You mean other spiritual bodies? But what kind of spirits would they eat?
簡単でしょ。自然霊は自然そのものから力を汲み取る。なら人間霊であるサーバントは一体何から力を汲み取ると思う？
Oh, it really is an easy question. Just as we eat meat, human spirits like servants have to eat.
ごめんと。まあ魔力の補充なんて聖杯に補助されたマスターからの提供だけで大抵は事足りる。けど一人より大勢の方が大量摂取できるのは当然でしょ。はっきり言ってしまえばね、実力のないマスターはサーバントに人を食わせるのよ。サーバントは人間の原感情や魂を魔力に変換する。自分のサーバントを強くしたいのならそれが一番効率がいい。人間を殺してサーバントへの生贄にするマスターは決して少なくないわ。
Sacrifice? Are you saying there might be masters out there who would go around killing people to make their servants stronger if they're not choosy about their methods?
そうね。けど頭のいいやつならそんな無駄なことはしないんじゃないかな。いい？サーバントがいくら強力でも魔力の器そのものには限界がある。能力値以上の貯蔵はできないんだから、殺して回るにしても限度があるわ。それにあからさまに殺人を犯せば教会が黙ってないし、何よりそのシーンからサーバントの能力と正体が他のマスターたちにバレかねない。もちろんマスター自身の正体もね。聖杯戦争は自分の正体を隠していた方が圧倒的に有利だから、普通のマスターならサーバントを出し惜しみするはずよ。
I get it. If you don't let anyone know you're a master, then the other masters won't attack you. Conversely, if the other masters know who you are, you're just asking to be ambushed. It stands to reason that no one would be reckless enough to let their servants attack civilians and risk getting It stands to reason that no one would be reckless enough to let their servant attack civilians and risk getting exposed. Well, that's a relief. As long as a master doesn't order it, servants shouldn't As long as a master orders it, as long as a master doesn't order it, servants should indiscriminately attack you.
でしょうね。仮にも英雄だもの。自分から人を殺して回るやつはそもそも英雄だなんて呼ばれないだろうけど、もう断言はできないか。暴虐者だからこそ英雄になった例なんていくらでもあるんだし。
Tosaka just casually raises a truly terrifying point. That she sounds genuine about it rather than sarcastic or ironic might be a reflection of her twisted nature.
話を戻しましょうか。で、どうするの？人殺しはしないっていうエミヤ君は他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するんでしたっけ？
I take it back. She's not only twisted, she's a jerk who's going out of her way to drive me into a corner, all with a smile. If it comes to that, I'll go in to stop them. The master won't have much to do as long as their servant has been defeated, right?
はっきれた。自分からマスターは倒さない。けど他のマスターが悪事を働いたら倒すって言うんだ。エミヤ君、自分が矛盾してるって分かってる？
Yeah, I know they're just pretty words, but I can't think of anything else. I'm not changing my principles, no matter what you say.
問題点が一つあるけど、言っていいかしら？
I can see the gears turning in her head. She's up to something. But I promised to listen, so I need to hear her out. Yeah?
昨日のマスター覚えてる？エミヤ君と私を簡単に殺せとか言ってた子だけど。
How could I forget? She attacked us on our way home without any warning.
あの子、必ず私たちを殺しに来る。それはエミヤ君にも分かってると思うけど。
Oh, right. That girl's a master too. She knows that Tosaka and I are both masters, so she's bound to come after us eventually. It could be today or tomorrow, but we've already signed our death warrants. I have no chance of stopping that monster.
あの子のサーバント、バーサーカーは桁違いよ。マスターとして未熟なあなたにあれは撃退できない。自分からは何もしないで身を守るって言うけど、あなたは身を守ることさえできないわ。
Look who's talking. You have no chance against that thing either.
正面からじゃ勝てないでしょうね。白兵戦ならあれは最強のサーバントよ。きっと歴代のサーバントの中でもあれと並ぶやつはいないと思う。私もバーサーカーに襲われたら逃げ延びる手段はないわ。
That goes for me too. I'm pretty sure I won't survive the next round with that thing. My hand moves unconsciously to my stomach. The wound is closed. It's probably not even fair to call this a wound. It's the spot where a gigantic sword nearly killed me instantly. I can't shake off the sudden wave of nausea that wells up in me when I imagine that the next time I might get a taste of that blade.
そういうこと。分かった？何もしないままで聖杯戦争の終わりを待つなんて選択肢はないってことが。
Yeah, I know that now. But Tosaka, I'm not sure what your point is. I'm sure you're not here just to make fun of my inevitable doom, are you?
そこまで悪趣味じゃない。もうここまで言ってるのにわからない？要するに私と手を組まないかって言ってるの。
What? What now? What? If I take those words at face value, that means you want to team up with me, Tosaka?
そう。私のアーチャーは致命傷を受けて目下治療中。完全に回復するまで時間がかかるけど、それでも半人前ぐらいの活躍はできるはずよ。で、そっちはサーバントは申し分ないけど、マスターが足引っ張ってやっぱり半人前。ほら、合わせればちょうどいいわ。
Hey, I'm not that bad of a mage.
私が知る限りでもう3回も死にそうになったのに、1日で3回も殺されかける人間なんて初めて見たけど。
But
同盟の対価ぐらいは払うわ。アーチャーを倒されたことはチャラにしてあげて、マスターとしての知識も教えてあげる。ああ、あと暇があればエミヤ君の魔術の腕を見てあげてもいいけど。どう？
It is an attractive proposition. I know next to nothing, and Tosaka does seem knowledgeable. And I'd like to avoid fighting her if I can.
エミヤ君、答え聞かせてほしいんだけど。
She urges me to make a choice. I don't remember the team up happening this early on in the other anime adaptations. Well, it's been a while since I watched the original Dean State Night, but I know, but I remember it. But I remember in the UBW anime that Shirou at least has a run-in with Ryder before they officially team up. Besides, I don't have much choice. There's too much I don't know, and I have no experience as a mage. If Tosaka is offering to help me, however temporary, it's an offer I can't turn down. All right, I'll take your offer, Tosaka. Honestly, I'd really appreciate your help.
決まりね。それじゃあ握手しましょう。とりあえずバーサーカーを倒すまでは味方同士ってことで。
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess that should be the arrangement. I guess I don't have control over the timing, but it'll probably help to know the timeline. I shake the offered hand. I'm a little perplexed. Tosaka's hand is so soft, it reminds me she's a girl. My hand, in comparison, is covered with scratches, and it seems a poor match for hers. The moment I think that, I find myself getting embarrassed. I quickly pull my hand back.
何どうしたの？やっぱり私と協力するのは嫌？
It's not that. I really appreciate that I'm going to be able to work with you. That was more a personal thing, so don't worry about it. Tosaka looks at me strangely. Her face turns mischievous. I can practically see the horns on her now. What? I might dissolve it. What? I might dissolve our agreement if you say something stupid. I'm serious. I really will.
あなた、女の子の手を握るの初めてだったんでしょ。なんだ、顔が広いように見えて白ってば奥手なんだ。
Wrong. That's not true. There's no way I could say I got embarrassed because I touched a girl that's so intimately before, but... And no, Fujine doesn't count. She's more like something from a different planet than someone of a different gender. Hey, hold on. What Tosaka just say?
聞いてた通り、ほんと顔に出るのね。まあ、今のは追求しないであげましょう。変につっついてじゃあ、まずは手付金。これあげるから強力な証と思って。
I don't know where she'd been keeping it, but she tugs out a giant book and slaps it on the table. It looks like a diary. There's no title and the cover is wine red. It seems to be Tosaka's trademark color.
私の父さんの持ち物だけど、もういらないからあげる。一人前のマスターには必要ないものだけど、あなたには必要だと思って。
Tosaka gestures for me to flip through it. Okay, thanks. I open to a random page, and then... There's nothing written on the pages, but a strange image suddenly... There's nothing written on the pages, but a strange image suddenly pops into my head. Huh? Tosaka, what is this?
各サーバントの能力表よ。聖杯戦争には決められたルールがあるのはもう分かってるでしょ。それはサーバントにも当てはまるの。まず呼び出される英霊は7人だけ。その7人も聖杯があらかじめ作っておいたクラスになることで召喚が可能となる。英霊そのものを引っ張ってくるより、その英霊に近い役割を作っておいて、そこに本体を呼び出すっていうやり方ね。
Yeah, you might want to talk to some friends in Chaldea. I think they could tell you that there are about 15 classes.
口寄せとか高齢術は呼び出した霊を術者の中に入れて何らかの助言をさせるでしょ。それと同じ。時代の違う霊を呼び出すにはあらかじめ箱を用意しておいた方がいいのよ。
Classes. Oh, so that's why Saber is called Saber.
そういうこと。英霊たちは正体を隠すものだって言ったでしょ。だから本名は絶対口にしない。自然で、その用意されたクラスはセイバー、ランサー、アーチャー、ライダー、キャスター、アサシン、バーサーカーの7つ。
What do you... I think there might be some more in the back. Something about Shielder, Ruler, Avenger, Moon Cancer, Pretender, Foreigner, Alter Ego. What's this about beasts?
聖杯戦争のたびに1つや2つはクラスの変更はあるみたいだけど、今回は基本的なラインナップね。通説によると最も優れたサーバントはセイバーだとか。これらのクラスはそれぞれ特徴があるんだけど、サーバント自体の能力は呼び出された英霊の格によって変わるから注意して。
A heroic spirit's rank. You mean how strong they were in life?
それもあるけど、彼らの能力を支えるのは知名度よ。生前何をしたか、どんな武器を持っていたかってのは不変のものだけど、彼らの基本能力はその時代でどのくらい有名なのかで変わってくるわ。英霊は神様みたいなものだから、人間に崇められるほど強さが増すの。存在が濃くなるとでも言うのかしらね。信仰を失った神霊が精霊に落ちるのと一緒で、人々に忘れ去られた英雄にはそう大きな力はない。もっとも忘れられていようが知られていなかろうが、元が強力な英雄だったらある程度の能力は維持できると思うけど。
Then if the hero is well known and their legend was extraordinary.
間違いなく A ランクのサーバントでしょうね。
Yeah, I'm not sure what Soberoni would rank Artoria as at right now, but she might be higher than A.
そういった意味でもバーサーカーは最強かもしれない。何しろギリシャ神話における最も有名な英雄だもの。神代の英雄たちはそれだけで特殊な宝具を持っているっていうのに、英雄自体が強いんじゃ手の打ちようがない。
But I mean, what would Heracles be? I mean, he's known for like doing 12 different kinds of stuff. How does that translate into a noble phantasm? Tosaka, what the heck's a noble phantasm?
そのサーバントが生前使っていたシンボル、英雄と魔剣聖剣の類はセットでしょ。要するに彼らの武装のことよ。
Huh? Weapon? Like Saber's invisible sword?
まあね、あれがどんな曰くを持っているか知らないけど、セイバーのあれは間違いなく宝具でしょ。
And here I thought it was a special move triggered by a full heat meter.
言うまでもないと思うけど、英雄ってのは人名だけじゃ伝説には残れない。彼らにはそれぞれトレードマークとなった武器がある。それが奇跡を願う人々の思いの結晶、ノーブルファンタズムとされる最上級の武装なわけ。
So it's a powerful magical item.
そうそう、ぶっちゃけた話、英霊だけでは強力な魔術、神秘には太刀打ちできないわ。けれどそこに宝具が絡んでくると話は別よ。宝具を操る英霊は数段格上の精霊さえ打ち滅ぼす。何しろ伝説上に現れる聖剣、魔剣はほとんど魔法の域に近いんだもの。最強の幻想種である竜を殺す剣だの、万里をかける靴だの、果ては神殺しの魔剣まで。ともかく これで無敵じゃないはずがないっていうぐらい英霊たちが持つ武装は桁が違う。サーバントの戦いはこの宝具のぶつかり合いにあると言っても過言じゃないわ。
So what you're saying is that these servants, who are heroic spirits, will most definitely have at least one noble phantasm.
ええ、原則として一人の英霊が持てるのは一つの宝具だけとされるわ。
About that.
大抵は剣とか槍ね。ほら、中国に破山剣ってあるじゃない？一振りしかできないけど、その一振りで山をも立つっていう魔術品。それと似たようなものだと思う。
Okay, how come we haven't gotten that here? How come we haven't gotten that guy in FGO yet? Or girl?
もっとも、
I don't know
宝
what
具
they
は
do
その神
with
明を
that
呪文
person.
にして発動する奇跡だから、そうおいそれと使えるものじゃないんだけど。
Huh? It activates when the weapon's name is spoken, right? Why would that make it so hard to use?
あのね、武器の名前を言えばそのサーバントがどこの英雄か分かっちゃうじゃない。英雄と魔剣はセットなんだから、武器の名前が分かれば持ち主の名前もおのずと知れてしまう。そうなったら長所も短所も丸分かりでしょ。
I see. Yeah, you make a good point. Now that I think back, when Lancer used his noble phantasm, Saber immediately figured out his identity. Something about Ireland's Child of Light. Okay, so servants are separated by classes, and each of them are heroic spirits suited to that class. Is there a weapon triangle to this? They're all concealing their identities, and the weapons that they wield are the most powerful aces they've got up their sleeve, but they can't use it freely or they would wind up revealing their identity.
以上でサーバントについての講義は終わり。詳しいことはその本を見ればわかるから、一息ついたら目を通しなさい。慣れてくればその本がなくても直感でサーバントを判断できるようになるから。
With that, Tosaka stands up.
さて、それじゃあ私は戻るけど。
Huh? Yeah, thanks. I'm still sitting on the floor, so I look up at Tosaka as she gets ready to leave.
協力関係になったからって間違わないでね。私とあなたはいずれ戦う関係にある。最後の日になって他のマスターたちが倒れているにしろ、全員健在であるにしろ、これだけだから私を人間と見ない方が楽よ、エミヤ君。
After making very clear where we stand, Tosaka leaves for her home. I can already feel myself getting less and less stressed once Tosaka leaves. My feverish body is suddenly overcome with exhaustion, and I collapse to the floor. I lie on my side to try to ignore the nausea creeping back over me. The ticking of the clock echoes throughout the quiet living room. A battle between masters, huh? I still don't understand what the heck that is. All I know is that I don't know much. It may have felt more real to me if I was even a little more interested in the Holy Grail. I don't know what it is, but the only thing I can feel for the Holy Grail is disgust. A grail that supposedly grants wishes. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's an artifact powerful enough to summon servants. It may not grant every wish, but it's more than valuable enough for a mage. And yet, I have no interest. I might be skeptical because it doesn't feel real to me, but I also feel it's not fair to take a shortcut like that. Plus, it doesn't sit well with me, knowing that the selection process is just battle. Yet this is a game of musical chairs. No matter how I feel about it, I'll need to overcome my competition to survive now that I'm involved. And one of the methods to get rid of competition who could be to involve and harm other innocent people. That's why
喜べエミヤシロ。
my reason to fight in the Holy Grail War is not to survive and win.
君の望みはようやく叶う。
It's to do everything I can to stop those who will try to win by any means necessary. I feel dizzy again. That's not surprising. No matter how much my body appears healed, it was nearly split in half just a few hours ago. This feeling isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I felt this way for the rest of my life. I was very nearly killed 3 times in one day. There's no denying that someone with no power will wind up hurt if they participate in battle. My own ineptitude nearly cost me my own body. Then that girl got hurt trying to protect me. Ugh. I try to sit back up. Right, her. I can't believe myself. I completely forgot about her because Tosaka had settled herself in my living room. Maybe it's more that I was just avoiding thinking about her. I'm such a coward. I was avoiding thinking about the girl who was bleeding miserably, even though I was the reason she got hurt in the first place. I can't believe Tosaka left out the most crucial point. I shoved myself back up to my feet. Tosaka never said anything about Saber. The only thing she said was that she and Saber brought me home, but she didn't elaborate. The very first thing I should have asked was whether the girl was safe, since Berserker wounded her. I suppress my nausea as I make my way through the mansion. Saber's nowhere to be found. I haven't checked the detached guest rooms, but I can't find her. That's weird. That armor isn't exactly camouflage. Even so, a fully armed and armored Saber still eludes me. Supposedly, servants can turn into spirit forms, but unfortunately, she can't with me. No, first of all, even though I'm called a master, I don't know anything about her. I don't even know what Saber is or how servants are able to exist. It's like a new soldier suddenly gets awarded with a tank. But what's fortunate is that this tank has an autopilot. Even if the soldier is incompetent, the tank will run on its own. I bang my head against the pillar, frustrated by my own thoughts. What's with these negative thoughts, you idiot? You're whining. I apologize to the blonde girl internally. Right now, I need to find her and see if she's okay. She's not here either. I've looked around the entire house. It's the size of a traditional Japanese inn, but I played hide and seek with Fujine when I was a kid, so I know the most efficient way to search it. She must be in the dojo or the shed if she isn't in the house itself. The yard, the shed, or she told me she was going to protect me, so she's not likely to leave the house. Hey, maybe she's... I suddenly remember another place. If she's not in the house, the yard, or the shed where we first met, there's another big building within the compound. That's where she'll be. I head over as quickly as I can. My destination is the Kendo Dojo in a detached building. I'm getting a little nervous. If she's not there, I'll have to accept that she's just disappeared. I realize something. I have no clue who she is, but I still want her to be here. I enter an enclosed room completely absent of any ornamentation. It's not a room to live in, and it's a dojo designed only for training. Within the tranquil room lit by the sun, she sits as if she's always belonged there. The place is hushed, serene. The sunlight coming in is white and untainted, allowing the girl to be one with the dojo. It's the same girl who wielded her sword without hesitation, protecting me from Lancer last night until under the moonlight. That golden mane of hers, which had soaked in the blue-white moonlight, now glitters in the sunlight. And then I remember, this is exactly how I felt when I first saw her. She was clad in armor, wielding her sword, and silently overwhelming the enemy. The extraordinary sight of her isn't what surprised me. In fact, it didn't matter how she looked. Even if she'd been covered in mud, I don't think my reaction would have been different. The girl who had so moved me is still right here, in front of me. I just admire her, forgetting even to breathe. The heck with being a master in the Holy Grail War. In this moment, I've completely accepted the girl called Saber. I don't know how much time elapsed. Saber opens her eyes, as if waking from a slumber. Oh! I sound disappointed, but my voice echoes through the dojo in the silence. Saber notices and stands up without making a sound. She walks toward me before I can think of what to say.
目が覚めたのですね、シロ。
Her voice is serene. Something rich and calm about her voice hangs in the air. Yeah, I just woke up. I managed to answer at least.
シロ、顔色が優れないようですが、やはり体調は悪いのですか？
No, I'm fine. I feel real good. I recoil from her. I avert my eyes and try to get my heartbeat under control before my chest bursts. Get a hold of yourself. Why are you getting worked up like this? I take a deep breath, but I don't think this feeling is going away anytime soon. And why did she have to change? Saber's appearance is drastically different from yesterday. Her outfit now is so ordinary, in stark contrast to her armor. Her appearance takes me by surprise. She seems more real, which confuses the heck out of me. Seriously, she's drop dead gorgeous. I mean, I saw that yesterday, but it's actually setting in now.
シロ。
As soon as we make eye contact, I can feel my nervousness grow. Then again, I wasn't looking everywhere. Then again, I wasn't looking everywhere for her just to stay silent. It's uncomfortable, but I can't let it be awkward forever. Saber, right? This is actually the first time we've sat down to talk. I bite the bullet, but then...
シロ、話の前に昨夜の件について言っておきたいことがあります。
She interrupts me, obviously displeased, making her earlier calm hard to fathom. Sure, what is it?
ですから昨夜の件です。シロは私のマスターでしょう。そのあなたがあのような行動をしては困る。戦闘は私の領分なのですから、シロは自分の役割に徹してください。自分から無駄死にをされては、私でも守りようがない。
Saber doesn't mince words. Her clipped tone is enough to make me forget my anxiety. What the heck? If I hadn't intervened, you'd been cut in half.
その時は私が死ぬだけでしょう。シロが傷つくことではなかった。繰り返しますが、今後あのような行動はしないように。マスターであるあなたが私をかばう必要はありませんし、そんな理由もないでしょう。
The girl speaks frankly. She's very clerical. Don't be stupid! I don't need a reason to protect a girl. The words just pop out before I can think about it. Saber stiffens, as if surprised to see me upset at her. I find myself taking a step back under her severe expression. Now I just feel embarrassed, like I've said something incredibly tone-deaf. Anyway, thanks for taking me home. I appreciate it.
それはどうも。サーバントがマスターを守護するのは当たり前ですが、感謝をされるのは嬉しい。シロは礼儀正しいのですね。
I don't think I'm particularly polite, actually. There's something more pressing that I need to bring up. Something I should have asked as soon as I got home yesterday. Is she willing to be my servant? And is she really alright with fighting with me in this war? Let's get back on topic, Saber. Oh, I can call you Saber, right?
はい。サーバントとして契約を交わした以上、
私はシローの剣です。その命に従い敵を撃ち、あなたを守る。
Saber does not hesitate in the slightest to give her answer. Her tone leaves no room for doubt. You're my sword, huh? To win the Holy Grail thing?
シローはそのために私を呼び出したのではないのですか？
No, I wound up summoning you because I couldn't just tell her it was a big weird coincidence. And actually, I didn't even summon her. Saber just appeared when I was in trouble and saved me. And here we are. I became Saber's master, and I got looped in this battle to the death, this Holy Grail war. I didn't choose any of this. I'm still just an apprentice mage who just got caught up in a battle way beyond my abilities. Wait, so what about it? I'm already resolved to fight no matter what. There's no point in me crying over my situation now. I shake my head, trying to stop myself from whining. No more of that. I've already said I'd fight. I can't just drop everything and run. This will be the last time I whine aloud or think negatively. No matter how I get involved, I've decided to fight.
シロー、
It's nothing. But I'll need to warn you, your chances of winning are pretty slim with me. I don't have any knowledge or power like Tosaka. We could very well end up in another situation like last night. Are you still okay with that?
それは戦う意志がないということですか？
I have the will to fight. I'm only asking if you still want to team up with me, knowing how slim the odds are. How I got to this conclusion doesn't matter. All that matters is that I've decided to fight this battle. That's why I don't think it's right for someone to get hurt on my behalf. Even if I'm weak, having Saber fight and having her get hurt like that, I can't stand that happening again.
私のマスターはあなたです、シロー。これはどうあっても変わらない。サーバントにマスターを選ぶ自由はないのですから。
She's right. That's the whole reason Saber is my servant. If it's true, I'll need to respect Saber's need and actions as best I can. Got it. Then you're okay with me being your master?
ええ。ですがシロー、私のマスターに敗北は許さない。あなたに勝算がなければ私が作る。可能であるすべての手段を用いて、あなたには聖杯を手に入れてもらいます。
To obtain the Holy Grail. Tosaka said servants also have a wish they want granted. Saber is no exception. That's why she hasn't hesitated up to this point. But it's also why... Hold on, Saber. You said any means possible, right? Does that mean you'll stop at nothing to win? Like, you might even attack people to gain power? I can't finish my sentence. Saber looks at me as if she's looking at an enemy.
シロー、それは可能である手段ではありません。私が許す行為しかできない。自分を裏切ることは私には不可能です。剣を持たぬ人間にですが、マスターが命じるのであれば従うしかありません。その場合、私に踏み入る代償としてその刻印を一ついただくことになりますが。
I get overwhelmed by the edge in her voice. At the same time, I feel relief flooding through me. Saber seemed like a robot because of her extraordinary power and lack of hesitation, but I know now she's not some cold-blooded killer. Yeah, I wouldn't make you do anything like that. Just as you say, we have to do our best with what we can. I'm really sorry. What I've said must have been insulting.
あ、いえ。私もマスターの意図がつかめずに早合点してしまいました。シローは悪くないのですから、頭を上げてくれませんか？
Huh? Oh, I bowed without realizing it. I raised my head. I don't know what's so funny, but Saber has a small smile on her face. I'm glad she seems happy, but I don't press her. Ah, I forgot to bring this up. In addition to doing everything we can, I've decided to team up with Tosaka for the time being. Remember her? The girl who was with us last night? Archer's master?
リンですか？そうですね。確かにそれは賢明な判断です。シローがマスターとして成熟するまで彼女には教わるものがあるでしょう。
Yeah, she even gave me this cool book. That's a relief. As long as Saber agrees, I can work together with Tosaka without hesitation. The only other thing I need to ask her right now is... Logically, this is probably what I should ask, but then again... I should ask about those clothes she's wearing. So, Saber, I wanted to ask you something.
はい、何か？
Where did you get those clothes? You look completely different than yesterday, so you kind of caught me off guard. Actually, I'm still bewildered.
リンが用意してくれたものです。私は霊体に戻ることができませんから、せめて人目につかないようにと。
I see. I had no idea.
それが何か？
Nothing. Don't worry about it. I want to tell her they look good on her, but I managed to stop myself. If I said something like that, I'd probably go beet red.
シロ。
Well, yeah, yesterday's armor. Yeah, I was just wondering what happened to your armor.
それでしたら心配はいりません。武装の有無は自由なので、この服でいるときは外しているのです。あの鎧は私の魔力で編まれたもの。必要に応じて呼び出せます。
I can only respond with amazement. Anyway, there's no doubt she'd draw a lot of attention going around in that armor. But with Saber wearing something like that, I could probably make up some story to the neighbors that she's a distant relative from my old man or relative of my old man or something. Well, actually, I have to do that anyway. But then I hear something heavy hit the floor by the door. What's that? I turn to face the sound. At the door, there's Tosaka, a duffel bag at her feet. What the? My mind comes to a screeching halt. I thought Tosaka had gone home, but here she is at the dojo in her ordinary clothes. And why is she carrying so much stuff? What are you doing here, Tosaka?
何って家に戻って荷物取ってきたんじゃない。今日からこの家に住むんだから当然でしょ。
What? Live? You living here? In my house?
協力するってそういうことじゃない。あなたね、さっきの話って一体何だったと思ったわけ？
I can't even speak. I need to say something or else this is going to turn into a huge mess, but my brain refuses to work.
私の部屋どこ？用意してないなら自分で選ぶけど。
She just pushes right by me, brashly invading my home. No, hold up, wouldn't this be wrong? I mean, Tosaka's pretty much the school's idol. Having her in my house at all is already a big deal, but I don't know how people will react if she started staying here or living with me, and Fujine would absolutely kill me. And well, maybe this is just a plot on Tosaka's part to get rid of a master?
ああ、ついでに彼女の部屋も用意したら。私のアーチャーと違ってシローのサーバントはかさばるんだから、ちゃんと寝る場所を与えておかないと。まあ布団一組あればノープロブレムって言うんなら別にいいけど。
What? Is she implying Saber and I sleep in the same bed or something? That is not going to happen, idiot. You think you can just say whatever because I'm being quiet, but that isn't ever happening. Saber's a girl, you know.
論点が違うけど、まあいっか。ですってセイバー。シローは女の子と同じ部屋は嫌だってさ。
Saber's staring at me. She looks really stern.
困りますシロ。サーバントはマスターを守護する者。睡眠時は最も警護すべき対象なのですから、同じ部屋でなければ守れない。
That's even worse! What the heck are you two thinking? Should girls really be thinking about that kind of stuff? Why? Why are the two of them just silently staring at me like that?
サーバントはサーバント。人間扱いする必要はないけどね。シローにそんなこと言っても無駄か。
I'm about to protest, but I shut my mouth. The discomfort I felt when I was talking to Tosaka in the living room earlier comes rushing back. Actually, I've just figured out the cause of my discomfort. Hold on, Tosaka. When did you start calling me by my first name?
あれそうだった？意識してなかったから割と前からそうなってたんじゃない？
It did happen quickly. At least that's how I felt.
そう。嫌なら気をつけるけど、シローは嫌なの？
Tosaka is so casual about this, not really caring how I feel. You were right, Issei. It's not that Rin Tosaka might be a cruel enchantress. She is one. Fine, do whatever you want. You can call me whatever you like.
そ？ならそういうことで。
リン、話を切らないでほしい。私とシローの部屋についてまだ結論が出ていない。
ああ、そうだったそうだった。けどシローがこの様子だと相部屋は難しいわね。サーバントを人間扱いしてもいいことなんてないけど、シローが嫌だって言うんだから諦めたら？
それは違う。シローは困ると言っただけで嫌だとは言っていない。
だってさ、そのあたりどうなのシロー？
Hold on a minute. I don't understand how in a single day she could just casually start calling me Shiro like a cat she just picked up and named. Well, that's not really the issue here. This is about Saber's living arrangement.
シロー、もう一度聞きます。睡眠中の警護はサーバントの役割です。マスターとして自分の立場は分かっていると思いますが。
My decision won't change no matter how much she stares at me like that. No, I'll prepare a different room for Saber. I'll make sure her room's closest to mine. That should be a good compromise. Intimidation won't work with me. Anyway, I'm a man, so I have to draw the line. You need to be more mindful of your position too, Saber.
ですから私はサーバントとしてマスターを守護しようと。
No, not that. I'm talking about your own position. If you don't get it, then never mind. If you're going to keep on pressing the issue, I'll make you understand if I have to use my command spell. I try to scare Saber off the subject.
そのようなことで令状を使われては困る。3つしかない命令権を自分を守るななどということに使われては先が見えない。
そうね。間違いなくそんなマスターはシローが最初で最後でしょ。
Don't be stupid. I wouldn't want to use my command spell for something like this either.
わかりました。マスターの方針に従います。ですが、敵に襲われた時はどうするのです？アサシンなどは気配なく標的に忍び寄ってくる。そういった時、私が駆けつけるまでにシローは自分を守れるのですか？
Well, I really can't tell her that I can take care of myself. Yeah, I managed to survive against Lancer, but I won't have that kind of luck twice.
それはありえないわね。この屋敷には外敵が侵入すると警報が鳴る結界が張ってある。 襲撃は避けられないけど、奇襲ならすぐに察知できるわ。それならシローが襲われる前に駆けつけられるだろうし、セイバーは好きな部屋に陣取ればいいんじゃない？
それは確かにそうですが、
なんならシローの部屋の隣でいいじゃない。一緒の部屋でなければいいんでしょ、エミヤくんは。
Tosaka purposefully calls me Emiya at the end. Tosaka, that's a bit of a misconception.
あなたのために言ってるんだから正論よ。さーて、それじゃあ私の部屋はどこにしよっかな。
Tosaka takes her luggage and heads toward the mansion, putting an end to the conversation. She seems cheerful, like a student picking her room at a school trip. How terrifying. The way Tosaka carries herself so self-assuredly mesmerizes the two of us, and we both watch her go in stunned dismay. We all leave the dojo and head back to the house. For the time being, I need to give them all a tour so Saber can select her room. This is the Japanese-style room. If you head towards the back, you'll find the living room, bathroom, and other communal spaces. You'll get to the guest house if you walk along the veranda corridor toward the detached side of the house. Seems like Tosaka wants to go that way. As we walk, I explain where everything is. I'm not sure if she's even listening since Saber is just following me without reacting to a single thing I say.
屋敷の見取りはいいです。それよりシローの部屋はどこなのですか？
My room is this way. It's pretty far into the house.
では、そちらに案内してください。内密に話があります。
Privately? That means it's something she doesn't want Tosaka to hear. I don't think Tosaka would hear us since she's in the detached area of the house, but I can't forget that she's still a master. She could just as easily listen in. And besides, the veranda's hardly a place to talk in private. Here, this is my room.
これがシローの部屋ですか？
The moment we step into my room, Saber's eyes widen with surprise. What's wrong? I don't think there's anything around here that should surprise you like that.
いえ、びっくりさせるようなものがないというより、何もないではないですか。本当にここがあなたの部屋なのですか、シロー。
Why would I lie to you about that? I only come in here to sleep, so it makes sense there's nothing here.
そうですか。意外でした。シローはもっと雑多な人となりだと思っていましたから。
Saber steps into the Japanese-style room, running her hand along the wall and sliding the paper door, feeling its texture. Her touch is gentle, as if contact with these things will let her learn their history, see their memories.
よかった。寂しい部屋ですが、無下に扱われているわけではない。殺風景ですが、ここはここで暖かい場所なのですね。
Warmth? Well, I guess that's true. Maybe it's how this mansion's been structured, but this room is cool during the summer and warm in winter. My old man was also impressed and said I chose well.
ええ。部屋は持ち主の心象ですから。シローの心の在り方に不安を覚えましたが、これなら今までの印象とそう変わりはしないでしょう。
Saber sounds relieved, but I don't really understand what she's trying to say. So, what'd you want to talk to me in private about?
2つあります。そのどちらもシローと私だけの隠し事にしたいのですが、いいですね。
Huh? Well, if you say so, I don't mind. But at least tell me what they are, or else I won't know whether it's good or bad.
どちらも悪い話です。少なくとも他のマスターには知られたくはない。
From Saber's expression, I'm guessing this has something to do with our shortcomings. Okay, I think I got the gist of what's on your mind. Go ahead and tell me what it is.
はい、まず一つ目。召喚されたサーバントの最初の義務なのですが、これを果たせないことを許してほしい。
Huh? A servant's first obligation.
自身が何者であるかをマスターに告げるというものです。リンから聞いてはいませんか？
About who you are? Oh, I mean your real name. Servants are heroic spirits. They're heroes who have made a name for themselves throughout history and around the world. They conceal their identities as well as their skills by using class names. A servant's true name isn't something to reveal lightly, but their master should know. Without knowing their identity, masters won't know a servant's strengths and abilities. Masters and servants are one. The pair simply can't battle effectively if one has something to hide. At least, that would be the case if we're talking about a normal master. Knowing Saber's true identity won't change the fact that I still can't use her with her full potential, and I wasn't all that interested in the first place. Okay, that's fine, but why?
私なりに考えた結果です。いかにシロウが私の身命を隠そうとしても、シロウから知識を奪う術は多くあるでしょう。シロウの魔術抵抗はそう高くありませんから、敵が優れた術者ならば精神介入もたやすい。敵の魔術にかかれば、あなたの意志に反して私の身命が明かされてしまう。
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're right. I'd give it up the moment a spell was cast on me. Let's keep it a secret.
そう言ってもらえると助かります。もっとも、私自身はそう高名なものではありません。バーサーカーに比べれば、数段ランクは落ちるでしょうし、知られたところでどうということはないでしょうが。
Saber's tone is regretful. I hadn't quite expected that. She seems to have a human side to her, which she lets show in revealing how she's frustrated she may be inferior to Berserker as a hero. That doesn't matter. An ace up your sleeve's only value isn't that it's concealed. I can tell you're trying to be creative since you ended up with such a terrible master. Besides, don't you think Berserker's kind of unfair anyway? There's no reason for you to get depressed about it, and from my point of view, you weren't completely inferior to that thing. You were injured pretty bad, but you were still holding your own.
そうですね。昨夜不覚を取りましたが、傷が癒えれば違った結果になるでしょう。
I bet. Okay, that's the first topic. What's the other thing you wanted to talk about?
ええ、それなのですが、おそらくこれはもう私たちでは解決できないことです。私たちサーバントはマスターからの魔力提供によって体を維持する。だからこそサーバントはマスターを必要とするのですが。
But because I'm a crud master, I don't have enough magical energy to maintain your body?
違います。たとえ少量でもマスターから魔力が流れてくるのなら問題はないのです。ですが、シロウからは全く魔力の提供がありません。本来つながっているはずの霊脈が断線しているのです。
That means... It means that while I'm supposed to be providing Saber with fuel for her engine, so to speak, I'm not. Saber, that
シロウ
means...
自身の欠点ではありません。おそらく召喚時に問題が起きたのでしょう。何らかの不手際があって、本来つながるはずのラインがつながらなかったようです。
An error during your summoning? When Saber was called here, it wasn't any sort of summoning. It was just an accident. It's no wonder Saber's having these issues since she was summoned that way. Wait, then what's going to happen? If you can't replenish magical energy, does that mean you're going to disappear soon?
ええ。私が持つ魔力を使い切れば、この世界にとどまることはできなくなるでしょう。召喚されてから、すでに3回の戦闘を行いました。私の治癒能力も蘇生魔術ですから、傷を負えば魔力の消費も早くなる。そうですね。昨夜までで成熟した魔術師10人分の魔力は消費したでしょう。
I'm speechless. Every time Saber fights, she loses magical energy, and there's no way for her to replace it. If she's used that much magical energy already, how much longer can Saber stay here?
分かってもらえましたか、マスター。そのため、私は少しでも魔力の消費を抑えなければならない。供給がないのなら、あとは睡眠することで魔力の消費を抑えるしかありません。
Sleep. Does sleeping restore magical energy?
わかりません。ですが最低でも眠っている間は魔力を使わない。ですからこれからできる限りの睡眠を許してほしいのです。常にシロを守ることはできなくなりますが、それも勝利のためと受け入れてほしい。
Ah, I sigh in relief. Thank goodness. I'll give her whatever she asks if that's all there is to it. Of course that's okay. Rest all you want if things get rough for you. I'd rather you do that if it'll allow you to stay with me longer.
では今後は頻繁に眠りに入りますが、その間は決して屋敷から離れないように。遠く離れた場所でシロが襲われた場合、私は空間を跳躍するなら話は別ですが、そんな能力を持つサーバントは稀です。もし離れた場所で私を呼ぶのなら、0時のバックアップが必要になります。ですからできるだけ私から離れないようにしてほしい。
As much as I would like to, I can't readily agree. I can't imagine life with Saber sticking by my side all the time, and I do have my own life to live. I'll try, but is that all you need me to do? If you're asleep, you'll...
問題はないでしょう。このようなことはなかったので断言はできませんが、前回も総戦闘数は7回に満たなかった。私が倒さずともサーバントはサーバントによって減っていくのですから。
I see. So it doesn't mean everyone has to battle everyone else. If all goes well, we can end this war pretty easily. The only people I need to fight are those who start doing things no person should. I can't imagine all 7 would be like that. Even Tosaka, who seems eager to fight, would still abide by the rules of the mages. And as long as the other 5 masters act humanely, I have no intention of fighting them. Saber even said she didn't fight 7 times last night, so this time around... Oh, hold on a minute. Last time, fewer than 7 times? Hold on, Saber. Are you telling me you were the Saber last time too? I mean, does that mean you participated in the last Holy Grail War too?
私がこの聖杯の争いに参加するのは2度目です。その時も私はセーバーでした。中には複数のクラス属性を持つ英霊もいるようですが、私はセーバーにしか該当しません。
Oh, yeah, this one did not age well. I remember something Tosaka said. She said that out of the 7 servant classes, Saber is the best one. And this girl is saying that she has been summoned as that class twice in a row. Does that mean last time you stayed until the end?
無論です。前回は今のような制約はありませんでしたから、他のサーバントに遅れを取ることもなかった。
Saber says this as if it should be obvious. Her statement forces me to realize something. The sword in my possession now is not something I'm worthy of. I don't deserve her. Dang, you must be really unsatisfied with someone like me as your master.
私は与えられた役割をこなすだけです。聖杯さえ手に入るのであれば、マスターに不満はありません。
Got it. That's a relief, but she used to be fully prepared and in capable hands, but she's been injured twice. She used to be fully prepared and in capable hands, but she's been injured twice already. All because she can't replenish her magical energy. That means she'll constantly have to consider how much magical energy she has left as she fights. And because she needs to fight with all these restrictions, in her last battle, She wound up covered in her own blood. The image still haunts my mind. I still see that girl, smaller and slighter than me, being so brutally injured.
シロ、その後悔は余分なことです。
Huh? Saber's voice snaps me back to reality.
私も負け知らずだったわけではありません。私は勝ちきれなかったからこそ、こうしてあなたのサーバントになっている。傷を負うことには慣れていますから、あなたが悔やむことなどない。
Used to it? Even if your injuries look like they could be fatal?
ええ。剣を取るということは、傷つくということです。それはあなたも同じでしょう。私だけが傷つかないという道理はないと思いますが。
Well, yeah, but... So you're saying you don't mind getting hurt?
それが死に至る傷でなければ。死んでしまっては、マスターを守れなくなりますから。
What the heck? So you don't care if you get injured as long as you protect your master?
それがサーバントの役割ですから。確かにリンの言葉は正論ですね。サーバントを人間として扱う必要などない。私たちはマスターを守るための道具です。あなたもそれを正しく把握するべきだ。
Having said her piece, Saber walks toward the sliding door. There's a room opposite of the screen door. My room has always been big enough for me, so I never used the adjacent room.
睡眠をとります。夕食時には起きますので、外出するのなら声をかけてください。
The sliding door opens quietly, then slides back shut.
私たちはマスターを守るための道具です。あなたもそれを正しく把握するべきだ。
The heck kind of logic is that? It ticks me off. But I can't say that aloud, so I'll just take in Saber's words and stand alone, perplexed. I sit at the edge of the veranda and mindlessly look up the blue sky. I may not be sleeping during the day like Saber, but I still need rest. I'm not nauseous anymore, but I still feel terrible. On top of that, all the unexpected things that have happened are weighing heavily on me. Whew. I take a deep breath and look blankly out over the yard. I asked about everything I needed to know, and I got answers, but I'm no less lost for it. And yet, Tosaka, my senior as a mage, or rather a full-fledged master, is completely nonchalant about the whole situation.
ねえ、余ってるクッションとかない？あとビーカーと分度器。
She's busy scouring the house for stuff. Take any cushions you want from the guest room. But a normal house doesn't have beakers or protractors.
は？信じられない。魔術師なら実験用具ぐらい置いておくものよ。
Complaining loudly, she turns and heads back toward the detached building. Tosaka's really serious about getting herself situated here. And the matter of her staying overnight seems to also be settled. When I peeked into the detached building earlier, she'd already picked out the best room for herself. She'd even put up a sign that said, "Remodeling in progress, do not enter." Fine, I guess it won't be an issue since the detached building is far away enough. Having Saber around already has me on edge, but if Tosaka were close too, there'd be nowhere for me to relax anymore. The detached building is far enough, and even though it's connected by a corridor, it feels like a neighboring house. As long as I keep my distance, nothing bad should happen. Oh, but I guess we'll see each other during meals. And there's only one bath here, so we'll have to decide when each of us will use it. Wait a minute. Saber's a girl too, so... Idiot! What the heck am I thinking? I shake my head violently and slump back onto the floor. With what must be my millionth sigh today, I stare blankly up at the sky. I'm getting drowsy. Must be more tired than I realized. Whatever. I just go ahead and close my eyes. Apparently, not caring at all works wonders. The moment I closed my eyes, I drift right off to sleep. The next thing I know, the sun has long since set, and Saber, Tosaka, and I have gathered around the living room. I've only just woken up, and Saber is already in the living room, and Tosaka had just finished remodeling her room. By the way, this is what the guest room looked like a few hours ago. But now,
シロ、あのエアコンどう使うの？
this was what I saw after being summoned for something so trivial, even Fujide wouldn't have bothered me with it. The room is transformed into this. I sure know how to pick a teammate. I'm uncomfortable. My house is playing host to not one but two invaders. I'm all the more unsettled because I so rarely have guests here. Actually, these two don't even look like they belong in a Japanese-style house to begin with. The time is almost 7 o'clock at night. Everyone's in the living room, but staying quiet and doing nothing isn't really good for my mental well-being. If you two don't mind, I want to talk about what we do from here.
ちょっと待って。その前に一つ決めておきたいんだけど、いいかしら？
Sure. What is it?
何って夕食のことよ。シロ、ずっと一人暮らしだったのよね。
Huh? Well, yeah.
なら食事は自分で作ってきたのよね。
Of course. I'd go hungry if I didn't eat.
さ、なら提案なんだけど、夕食の当番は交代制にしない？これからしばらく一緒に暮らすんだし、その方が助かるでしょ？
You're right. I was thinking of going about my normal routine, but now that you're going to be living here, you'll be like family. You'll be expected to cook, and it'll lift some of the burden from me.
決まりね。じゃあ今日はシロが当番ってことで。
So nothing has changed.
もうこんな時間だし、作戦会議は食べてからにしよう。
Wait? It's fine if we take turns cooking dinner, but what about breakfast? Are we going to take turns for breakfast too?
ああ、朝はいいのよ。私食べないから。
What? Don't be ridiculous. You won't grow up big and strong unless you eat breakfast.
余計なお世話よ。人の生活スタイルに口を挟まないでちょうだい。とにかく今日の夕食はシロが作るの。ちゃんとした食べ物を出さないと話なんてしないからね。
For the life of me, I don't know what set her off, but Tosaka glares at me irritated. Fine, I'll make something. Saber, you're going to eat too, right?
用意してもらえるのでしたらぜひ。食事は重要な活力源ですから。
I believe the line was hunger is the enemy in the original anime dub. Got it. Then you two sit back and behave yourselves. I grab my apron and head to the kitchen. Luckily, there are enough ingredients for a meal for 3. I turned on the rice cooker right when I woke up, so it should be done in about half an hour. I glanced toward Tosaka and Saber from the kitchen. These two look like they would prefer eating Western-style meals over Japanese meals. I seriously doubt Saber would like tofu and natto, to say nothing of Tosaka. Actually, I don't think Saber would be able to hold chopsticks in the first place. I hesitate for a minute, but there's no point worrying about this now. There's only a few dishes I can make with the ingredients I have right now. I have tofu. I think for a moment and decide to make deep-fried tofu. I also decide to make a simple tofu and seaweed soup. Since I have some chicken prepped, I'll use that to make teriyaki chicken as the main dish. I drain the water from the tofu, season the chicken, I cut the daikon into thin strips to make a crunchy salad. I also grate the daikon to make a sauce and saute some shishito peppers.
今後の方針は決まっているのですか、リン？
さあ、情報がないから何とも言えないけど、とりあえずは他のマスターを探し出すことが先決かな。 残るマスターはあと4人。こっちがマスターだって知られずに探し出したいけど、さすがにうまくはいかないわよね。
I told them to be good, but they're on a pretty disturbing topic. Don't they see I'm busy making dinner for the three of us? They're not even looking over here. Tosaka, not 4. It's 5. The only masters we know so far are you and me. I shout my contribution from the kitchen, holding the big frying pot to make the deep-fried tofu.
何言ってるのよ。私とシロ、それにイリアスフィールで3人でしょ。あなた、バーサーカーのこともう忘れたの？
I didn't forget Berserker. It was her that slipped my mind. Oh. Oh, right. That little girl is also a master. I'd completely forgotten about her since Berserker left such a vivid impression on me. But now I remember that little girl is a master too, and she tried to kill us without a second's hesitation.
どうせね、あなたのことだからイリアスフィールを敵だって認識してなかったんでしょ。それはいいから調理に専念しなさいってば。シローの実力がわからないと私が困るんだから。
I don't know that my cooking skills are going to be problematic for Tosaka, but she's right. The food prep's pretty much done, so I need to concentrate and finish the dishes now.
イリアスフィール、バーサーカーのマスターですね。リンは彼女を知っているようでしたが。
まあね、名前ぐらいは知ってる。アインツベルンは何回か聖杯に届きそうになったっていう魔術師の家系だから。
聖杯戦争には慣れているということですね。
Something Saber should know, but then again, this came out before Fate Zero did.
でしょうね。他の連中がどうだか知らないけど、イリアスフィールは最大の障害と見て間違いないわ。本来バーサーカーっていうクラスは力の弱い英雄を強化するものよ。
Gotta love that prequel logic.
理性を代償にして英霊を強くするんだけど、そういった凶暴化した英雄の制御には莫大な魔力を必要とする。例えばあなたがバーサーカーになったら、
So let's say, for example, if you become a Berserker class, let's just call this person Mysterious Heroine X Alter.
このように話をすることもできませんね。協力者としての機能を一切排除し、戦闘能力だけを特化させたのがバーサーカーです。ですが、それは手負いの獅子を従えるようなもの。波の魔術師ではまず操れません。
We'll just give you some chocolate, you'll be fine.
でしょうね。そこいらのマイナーな英霊がバーサーカーになった程度でも波のマスターじゃ制御しきれない。だっていうのにイリアスフィールは超一流の英霊を召喚して、そいつをバーサーカーにして完全に支配してた。悔しいけどマスターとしての能力は次元違いよ、あの子。
同感です。私たちの当面の問題はその次元違いの相手に狙われているという現状ですか。
うん、私のアーチャーはまだ戦線に出られるほど回復してない。セイバーはどう？もう傷はいいの？
通常の戦闘ならば支障はありませんが、バーサーカーを相手にできるほど回復はしていません。バーサーカー戦の傷は完治しているのですが、ランサーから受けた傷には時間がかかるようです。
そう。それじゃあやっぱり当面は様子見をするしかないかな。
それについては提案が。アーチャーの目は鷹のそれと聞きます。彼には屋敷の周囲を見張ってもらうというのはどうでしょうか。
そのつもりよ。あいつには屋根で見張りをさせるから、怪しいやつが近寄ってきたらすぐにわかるわ。 この屋敷だって侵入者用の結界が貼ってあるんだし、守りは万全でしょうね。
But how do you get out on the roof? How do you get on the roof without triggering it? The only one who wouldn't trigger that bounded field is me. Oh wait.
まあバーサーカーに攻め込まれたら逃げるしかないけど。
The two continue their conversation. I don't like it. I'm the one making dinner for them, so I think it's rude for them to talk without me. Besides, Tosaka's too friendly with Saber. Well, I can't really talk to Tosaka so casually like that, so maybe Tosaka's just talking to Saber on my behalf. I see my face reflected in the glass of the kitchen cabinet, my brows furrowed in disapproval. That's weird. Why am I so mad? Okay then. I set out 3 plates and start serving dinner. I head out into the living room. You know, this isn't the best topic for dinner. I loudly smacked the tray down in front of Tosaka.
何怒ってるのよ、シロ。料理出しぐらいは手伝うべきだった？
I'm not mad. I just thought you were trying to act aloof around people. I give her a sideways glance. Tosaka seems perplexed. And then she gives me a chilling smile.
協力体制を決めていただけよ。安心なさい。別にあなたのセーバーを取ったりしないから。
What the? I can tell I'm starting to blush. Tosaka just pointed out why I'm so annoyed. Why you?
あら、違った？ならごめんなさいね、エミヤくん。
You say whatever you want. I retreated to the kitchen to grab the rest of the dishes. She really got to me. Tosaka is still smiling, and Saber is as expressionless as ever. I'm starting to wonder whether I can survive this partnership. But we go ahead and start dinner. I'm giving her the silent treatment. After what happened earlier, I don't want to talk to Tosaka, and I'm too embarrassed to even look at Saber. Saber eats in silence. Her movements are elegant. I can't believe she's the same girl who was swinging a sword earlier. And I can't put a finger on it, but... Every time she takes a bite of something she hasn't eaten before, she nods. It's amusing. Seems to be her way of saying the food is good. Also, it turns out she can use chopsticks properly. Tosaka, on the other hand...
よし、これなら勝った。
The moment she takes her first bite, she clenches her fist and says, Alright, I can do better than this.
明日を見てなさいよ、エミヤシロ。
Tosaka's fist trembles with excitement. Oh boy. Have I done something bad? Okay, so what about you... So about what you two were discussing earlier. The two raise their heads simultaneously. Wait. I'm already nervous with just one of them around, so having the two react in unison like that is torture.
さっきの話って何のことよ？
About what to do from now on. You two were talking about it while I was cooking.
まずは他のマスターを探すということですか？
Yeah, that. I'm just wondering if you have a specific plan.
どうするも何も地道に探すしかないでしょ？あ、そうだ。シロ、魔術師の気配ぐらいはわかる？なら話は早いんだけど。
I can't. I didn't know you were a mage, and we've been going to the same school for 2 years.
やっぱりそうなのね。まあそれはいいわ。どうせ他の連中はみんな気配を立ってるだろうし、魔術師の気配からたどる線は無理っぽいもの。セイバーはどう？サーバントはサーバントを感知できるって言うけど。
多少はできますが、あくまで身近で能力を行使している場合だけです。私では 半径200メートルほどしか捉えられません。
なるほどね。じゃあますます相手の出方を待つか、どこかおかしな場所を探すしかない。マスターが何か行動すればその痕跡は残るもの。私たちはそれを探り当てるってわけ。
Are you saying we need to search all over town?
いいえ、それはやめた方がいいわ。あっちも網を張ってるから、そんなことしたら一発でマスターだってバレるわよ。とりあえずはこっちの体制が整うまでは後手に回りましょう。今まで通りに生活してマスターだと悟られないこと、腕のレイジは他人に見られないように隠しておくこと、できるだけ人気のないところには行かないこと、日が落ちたらすぐに戻ってくること、あとは
外出するときはサーバントを連れて行くようにしてください。アーチャーはミンの護衛ができますか？
それぐらいならできるみたいね。霊体にして待機させておくから私は大丈夫よ。問題は
私のマスターですね。
そう、ちょっと聞いてるシロ。外出するときはちゃんとセーバーを連れて行きなさいよ。人目につかないようにするのが私たちのルールだけど、そういう時に備えてセーバーとは一緒にいなさいよね。
Alright, I'll try. My response is pretty half-hearted. I understand why Tosaka would say that, but I hesitate at the idea of taking Saber everywhere. I'm already nervous talking to Tosaka, but Saber makes me even more nervous. Actually, nervous might not even be the right word. I'm just bad at talking to Saber.
何か？
Nothing. Hey, do you want a second helping? Hand me your bowl.
いえ、結構です。実に見事な味付けでした、シロ。
Gosh. I avert my gaze without meaning to. If I can't even look her in the eye right now, who knows how I'm going to feel or what I'll do if we're going to be together all the time.
ああ、でもダメか。セイバーは霊体になれないんだから学校までついてこられない。
学校？シロは学生なのですか？
Yeah, I am. Oh right, Saber can't go to school because she's not a student. I guess I'll just have to have her stay home while I'm at school.
学校に行かないということはできないのですか、シロ。
I can't do that. I should live my life like normal, so I need to go to school. Besides, school's safe. There's not a lot of places with so many people. Plus my English teacher plus my English teacher crashes my house every night.
ですが。
大丈夫よセイバー。学校には私だっているんだから、もしもの時はフォローするわ。
And I keep saying nothing will happen.
わかりました。マスターがそう言うのでしたら従います。
Saber doesn't look convinced, but she still nods in agreement. Night falls. Tosaka looks like she's prepared herself a bath while I was cleaning up after dinner. Honestly, she's acting like she owns the place right from the start. I'll need to make it clear who's the boss around here, or things are going to be real tough for me in the future. Easier said than done. I get the sense seizing the initiative is going to be really hard. Speaking of difficulties, there's another person here who'll be the source of my headaches. Actually, Saber's probably my bigger obstacle. Tosaka can be reasoned with, but Saber seems completely impossible to convince no matter what. Saber. I know she's not a bad person, but Saber's back in her room. Tosaka's probably back in her own room in the detached area of the house. I'm the only one in the living room. There's still time before bedtime, so I should probably talk to Saber a bit more. Honestly, I'll need to overcome my awkwardness around her or else I'm going to suffer for it. Whether she's a servant or not, she's still a girl and younger than me. I'm sure I could learn a lot about her if we talked. Plus, I'll need to get used to her or Tosaka's never going to stop looking down on me. And that's a problem. I don't want that, so I should work on talking to her more casually. I go back to my own room. The room next to mine, separated by a single sliding door, is Saber's room. Saber, are you awake?
起きています。何かありましたか、マスター。
Saber slides the door open. I try to get the hammering out of my heart under control as she comes near me. Calm down, I'm only going to talk to her as a master.
シロ、顔色が優れませんが、傷が開いたのですか？
No, that's not it. I'm feeling all better. Actually, how are you doing?
はい、問題はありません。今の状態では完治まで時間はかかりますが、このままでも平均値はクリアしていますから。バーサーカー以外の相手ならば互角に渡り合えるでしょう。
I don't sense any pretension from her. She's simply stating the truth. I don't have any response to give. Saber's words may be encouraging to a master, but I still don't want a delicate-looking girl like her to fight. I want to ask you something. Do you have any goals other than fighting? Since you're here in the modern world, aren't there things you'd like to do?
他の目的ですか？そのようなことはありませんが、サーバントは戦うためだけに呼び出されたものです。それ以外の目的など余分なだけだ。シローの発言はひどく的が外れています。
I figured. I'm trying to tell someone not to fight when it's their only reason for being here. It's not that I wanted to tell her that, but it's just that Saber lacks humanity. That might be enough if fighting is all she's going to do, but she's right in front of me, looking like an actual human being. So it doesn't feel right for her to just fight. If Saber is going to be here, she should at least do something she enjoys, or it'll all seem like it was in vain. Hey, Saber. Servants are supposed to be heroic spirits from the past, right? Then... I'd been about to ask her what she was like before she became who she is now, but I stopped myself.
私の新名は教えられません。
During the day, Saber said that was going to be a secret between the two of us. So I wouldn't be surprised if Saber refused to tell me anything about her past.
シロ、言いかけてやめるのはよくありません。必要な質問なら答えますが。
No, forget about it. I was just going to ask a dumb question. I avert my eyes to try to change the topic. It really was a stupid question. I thought I wasn't interested in Saber's identity, and Saber's been refusing to tell me because it's not safe. Bringing up something like this would just prove I'm a bad master, dwelling on unimportant stuff. But what else can I talk to her about then? If I can't ask anything about Saber, the only other topics left would be me. That would be even more pointless. I'm grasping at straws here. If I can't ask about her identity, I'll just have to ask about what Saber likes, what she wants to eat for breakfast tomorrow. I don't care if she's going to look at me funny. I'm ready to ask all the futile questions I want.
シロ、あなたから質問がないのなら、私から尋ねていいでしょうか？
Yeah, sure. What is it?
昨夜のことです。シロは私を助けようとしてバーサーカーに打ち倒されました。それは覚えていますね。
I do, but what? Are you going to keep belittling me like you had to this morning? I get that it was a rash decision on my part, so don't remind me. It makes me feel sick.
それは私も同じです。ですがこれはあなたという人間を知るために聞いておくべきことだと思う。シロ、あなたはなぜバーサーカーに向かったのです。近寄ればどうなるか、シロには分からなかったのですか？
Well, of course I knew. I knew getting near that thing would definitely be the end of me. Still, I tried to save Saber, not out of some foolish optimistic belief I could. I just tried to save her. I didn't care about what would happen afterward. Saving Saber was my top priority in that moment. If anything, The fear of not being able to save Saber was greater than my fear of being killed. Sorry, I forgot why. It all happened so fast, so I don't really remember what I was thinking at the time. I was probably just rattled. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made such a suicidal move. Rather than tell her the truth, I just say something to try to get myself out of the situation. I probably did it because of how seriously Saber was looking at me.
つまり、ただ自然に私を助けようとしたのですね。
It wasn't unwitting. I told you I was rattled. If something like that happened again, I'm sure I would just be quaking.
そうですね。それが正常な人間です。自らの命を無視して他人を助けようとする人間などいない。それは英雄と呼ばれた者たちでさえ例外ではないでしょう。ですからそんな人間がいるとしたら、その人物の内面はどこか欠落しています。その欠落を抱えたまま進んでは待っているのは悲劇だけです。
Her deep green eyes are trying to tell me something. And yet... Cut it out, Saber. I told you I was just frazzled. I'm scared to die too, so it's not like I can act like a saint. If something like happen again, I'm going to prioritize myself over you. I try to mask my anxiety by just spouting a bunch of heartless crud.
それはよかった。私の思い違いなら問題はないでしょう。ええ。確かにシローは臆病です。道さえ間違えなければ、きっと正しい魔術師になれる。
Hey, do I really look like a coward to you?
ええ、とても。置かれた状況を受け入れるために努力するあたりが特に。そういった賢明さを時に臆病というのです。恐れを知らない者は賢者になれないのと同じですね。
She seems relieved. Saber even smiles as she says this. It must be because of how lovely and elegant everything she does is. I can't think of anything else to say, so Saber and I spend the rest of our time alone in my bland room. And then night falls. I did not talk to Saber or Tosaka in the other room, and nothing much happened until it was bedtime. It's 11 now. The lights in the house are off, and everyone inside goes to sleep to prepare for the upcoming day. I can't sleep. I'm still lying on my side, eyes wide open. This is my room. I should be sleeping, but it feels completely different now. Dang, why can't I? It's quiet, but I can hear Saber's breathing in the next room. I know. Of course I can hear sound coming from the next room if it's quiet. And since I can hear her breathing, I find myself imagining Saber's sleeping form. Dadgummit, how can I fall asleep in this situation? I can't just stay in this whole bed of needles situation forever. I sneak out of my futon, trying not to wake Saber up. Thank goodness. I thought Saber would notice, but I guess not. Unless she's a deep sleeper. I question whether she can really protect her master this way, but there's no immediate danger. If servants are linked to masters, she would probably wake up immediately if her master is in danger. Tosaka seems to be asleep. The lights in the detached building are out. She's either just that defiant, or maybe she's naturally adaptable. Because Tosaka managed to blend in here in just a day. Well, honestly, it does help having her around. Yep, she's a handful, but she is helpful. One bit of evidence of that is the bandage wrapped around my hand. Hide my command spells, huh? I never would have thought to do that if it hadn't been pointed out. The command spells masters bear appear somewhere on their arm. Mine appeared on the back of my left hand. Clothes wouldn't work to hide it, so I'll need to use bandages, even if it looks a little bit awkward. It's wintertime, so I'll wear some long sleeves to hide it. Tosaka has hers on the opposite hand from mine, around the middle of her right hand or somewhere around there. The shape of command spells differ for each master, and I don't think I'll ever see Tosaka's command spell. Silence falls over the shed. This is where Lancer cornered me yesterday, and where Saber appeared. The entrance is still open, and it's pitch dark inside, as if to repel anyone who might try to enter. But this darkness is familiar to me. I used to play here when I was young, and I feel it to be my real room. It sits silently under the wintry night sky. I step inside. After closing the door to shut out the cold, I turn on the stove. I thought I would take a break today, but I shouldn't. The old man would be rolling in his grave if he knew I skipped my training 2 days in a row. I sit down in the middle of the shed and take a deep breath. I should train, no pauses. Magecraft is a mental discipline to me, so I shouldn't skimp on my training for no good reason. Breathe in. I begin my training by getting my breathing under control. The usual image pops into my head. The image of a sword drifts into my empty mind. I try to ignore it and clear my head. As soon as magical energy runs through my body, I begin my usual training. My strengthening magecraft succeeded for the first time in years when I was attacked by Lancer last night. I need to recreate that same feeling before I forget, or else it'll have been for nothing. Trace on. I close my eyes halfway and release the air from my lungs. That's all I can do for now. As I concentrate, everything fades away. The Holy Grail War, Saber, Tosaka. If I allow my thoughts to slide into nothingness, any immature hesitations will fall away, and I'll finally get a good night's sleep. All right, and we will call it there for tonight. So, I hope you enjoy and have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.